Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. Let's get started with the top stories this hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds bilateral talks with President Santiago Pena Palacios of Paraguay at Hyderabad House in New Delhi. Search operations have been launched in Saladi area of Katwa in Jammu and Kashmir after 3 suspects were spotted by locals. Indian Army and Jammu and Kashmir police have been deployed to the spot. India records a notable increase in COVID-19 infections, with active cases now reaching 3,961. Amongst the affected states, Kerala, Maharashtra and Delhi lead with the highest number of active cases. Chennai court sentences the lone convict in the Anna University sexual assault case to life imprisonment for a minimum period of 30 years without remission. Ukraine attacks Russia's military air bases is one of the largest drone attacks on Russia. Reports indicate that the coordinated drone attacks hit 41 Russian aircrafts. At least 6 people have been burned in a targeted terror attack in Colorado's Boulder at Park Street Mall during a rally for Israeli hostages in Gaza. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is holding bilateral talks with President Santiago Pena Palacios of Paraguay at Hyderabad House in New Delhi. Earlier in the day, President Palacios had paid a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat, laying a wreath at the memorial. The visit is part of his 3-day state visit to India, which will conclude on the 4th of June. Let's in fact listen in to an excerpt from the bilateral.
यात्रा बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक है। दूसरी बार पैराग्वे के किसी राष्ट्रपति की भारत यात्रा हो रही है। एक्सेलेंसी, मुझे खुशी है कि आपके साथ सीनियर मंत्री, अच्छा एक बड़ा ताकतवर डेलीगेशन आपके साथ आया है। आप केवल दिल्ली नहीं बल्कि मुंबई भी जा रहे हैं। इससे आपसी संबंधों को प्रगाढ़ करने की आपकी प्रतिबद्धता बिल्कुल स्पष्ट है। मेरा विश्वास है कि आपसी सहयोग से हम साझी समृद्धि का मार्ग प्रशस्त करेंगे। एक्सेलेंसी, हमारे पास आर्थिक सहयोग सहित डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी, क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स, ऊर्जा, कृषि, स्वास्थ्य, डिफेंस, रेलवे तथा स्पेस जैसे क्षेत्रों में सहयोग के नए।
Aditya Vadavan is joining us for more on this story. Aditya, what are your sources telling you? What all is on the table for this bilateral meeting between India and, of course, Paraguay?
Good afternoon to you. This Prime Minister, both the leaders, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, held a meeting with President of Paraguay, Santiago Pena Palacios. And, during the meeting, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that your visit to India is historic. This is the second visit of the President of Paraguay to India. You're visiting not only Delhi but Mumbai as well. This clearly reflects your commitment to mutual relations. I believe that through mutual cooperation, we will pave the way for shared prosperity. We have new opportunities for cooperation in areas like digital technology, critical minerals, energy, agriculture, health, defense, railways, and space. So, clearly, Uday, if you see the statement by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the diplomatic relations, between India and Paraguay have been on the high in the recent past.
Absolutely. But what are the areas of mutual cooperation, Aditya? Which areas are being stressed upon?
Well, absolutely, Uday. If you see, in areas like digital technology, critical minerals, energy, agriculture, health, defense, both the countries are looking forward, to collaborate closely. Post Operation Sindoor, defense becomes a pertinent area of concern, because there have been recently what we have seen that Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri also visited the United States for access to crucial technologies, related to modern day warfare, because, as we know these days, warfare is technology oriented, more sophisticated drone technologies and AI, So as if you see, there is a mention of digital technology as well, this, if you see, in the modern day warfare, digital technology is a very closely related to the defense sector, because the top-notch fighter jet aircraft, be it of 6th generation fighter aircraft or 5th generation fighter aircraft, the technology plays a crucial role, because as the generation of these fighter aircraft goes forward, fifth or sixth generation are made, the technology makes the weight of the aircraft a little less, and the technology has won. So at this juncture, this visit by the Paraguayan president to India is definitely very crucial at this juncture. And let us also put this into perspective that recently an Indian delegation also visited another South American country named Colombia. So we can expect in the times to come of bolstering of mutual bilateral diplomatic relations between India and Paraguay. Yes, Uday.
Absolutely, Aditya. Thank you for joining us with those details. Huge protests have begun in Patna after a minor from Bihar's Muzaffarpur, who was raped and subsequently assaulted, passed away on Sunday in Patna. The girl was lured with a chocolate near her aunt's home and taken to a maize field in Muzaffarpur, where she was raped on the 26th of May. The rape victim was referred to the Patna Medical College Hospital, where she was made to wait in an ambulance for several hours due to lack of beds just a day before she passed away. According to PMCH Superintendent Dr. Abhijit Singh, the girl was first brought in with her neck and internal injuries at the Sri Krishna Medical College and Hospital in Muzaffarpur. Ritesh Mishra is joining us for more on this story. Ritesh, outrage on the streets of Patna after this minor rape victim passed away. What is the situation on ground currently?
अब बिल्कुल देखिए, अभी थोड़ी देर पहले ही कांग्रेस नेताओं ने प्रोटेस्ट किया। स्टेट प्रेसिडेंट समेत जो सेंट्रल कांग्रेस के जो लीडर्स हैं वो पटना पहुंचे और उन्होंने प्रोटेस्ट किया। उन्होंने नीतीश कुमार के आवास का घेराव करने की कोशिश की, राज्यपाल से मिलने की कोशिश की, बट उन्हें रोक दिया गया। और जो प्रोटेस्ट है वो अभी वापस चला गया है। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी बात है कि चलिए ये पॉलिटिकल प्रोटेस्ट हो सकता है, कांग्रेस माइलेज के लिए, कांग्रेस चुनाव को देखते हुए इस प्रोटेस्ट को भुना सकती है, लेकिन जो घटना है वो बेहद शर्मनाक है। एक माइनर लड़की, 10-12 साल की लड़की, मुजफ्फरपुर में उसके साथ रेप किया जाता है, फिर उस पर जो आरोपी है वो हमला करता है, गंभीर यहाँ पर ब्लेड से वो उसे कट लगा देता है, लड़की बुरी तरीके से घायल हो जाती है। मुजफ्फरपुर बड़ा शहर है, बिहार का डिस्ट्रिक्ट हेडक्वार्टर है, वहां पर SKMCH में उसे भर्ती कराया जाता है, वहां पर उसे इलाज तरीके से नहीं मिलता है। डॉक्टर्स जो हैं हाथ पांव खड़ा कर देते हैं, उसे पटना के PMCH रेफर किया जाता है। पटना का PMCH अभी मल्टी स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल बनकर तैयार है। मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार ने इनॉग्रेशन किया था और दावा किया जाता है कि ये विश्व का सेकंड लार्जेस्ट हॉस्पिटल है। वहां आप सोचिए कि उस हॉस्पिटल में जो पीड़िता थी उसे 4 घंटे एम्बुलेंस में रहना पड़ा। जब कांग्रेस के लीडर्स वहां पर पहुंचते हैं, डॉक्टरों के साथ नोकझोंक होती है, प्रोटेस्ट करते हैं, तब जाकर 8 से 9 घंटे बाद लड़की को वहां पर बेड मिलता है। आप सोचिए कि एक माइनर लड़की, रेप की विक्टिम, उस पर जानलेवा हमला किया जाता है, उसके यहां से ब्लड रिस रहा है, ब्लीडिंग हो रही है, और उसे 9 घंटे तक इलाज राजधानी पटना में बिहार के सबसे बड़े सरकारी अस्पताल में नहीं मिलता है। फिर जब ये हल्ला होता है उसके बाद डॉक्टर उसे एडमिट तो कर लेते हैं, लेकिन वहां भी इलाज नहीं मिल पाता है और अंत में उस लड़की की मौत हो जाती है। कांग्रेस प्रोटेस्ट कर रही है, पॉलिटिकल माइलेज हो सकता है उनके लिए, लेकिन ये बिहार सरकार के मुंह पर करारा तमाचा है, शर्मनाक है ये हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट के लिए, हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट के मिनिस्टर मंगल पांडे के लिए। चलिए, आमतौर पर जो गरीब मरीज आते हैं उनके लिए कोई आवाज उठाने वाला नहीं है, वो ऐसे ही तड़पते रहते हैं इलाज के लिए, डॉक्टर उन्हें भगा देते हैं, गार्ड्स भगा देते हैं। लेकिन एक लड़की, आप सोचिए वो भी माइनर लड़की, उसके साथ रेप की वारदात, उसके ऊपर जानलेवा हमला, वो 4 घंटे तक एम्बुलेंस में तड़प रही है, उसे बिहार के सबसे बड़े अस्पताल में, चमकते हुए अस्पताल में, मल्टी स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल में उसे दाखिला नहीं मिलता है और अंत में वो लड़की तड़प कर दम तोड़ देती है। और उसके बाद अगर आप प्रोटेस्ट को रोकते हैं तो ये शर्मनाक है बिहार सरकार के लिए, डूब कर मरने वाली बात है बिहार सरकार के लिए, बिहार के स्वास्थ्य महकमा के लिए, हेल्थ मिनिस्टर के लिए। और सबसे शर्मनाक बात यह है कि कोई भी सत्ताधारी दल का नेता इस पर नहीं आता है। उसे तो यहां पर संवेदनशीलता दिखानी चाहिए, कम से कम इमोशनल एस्पेक्ट दिखाना चाहिए कि एक छोटी सी बच्ची के साथ रेप की वारदात हुई, उसका मर्डर हो जाता है और आप विरोधी नेताओं के प्रोटेस्ट को आप कुचलने चल रहे हैं। तो ये सबसे बड़ा सवाल है, क्योंकि अगर जो दोषी डॉक्टर है, जो दोषी पुलिसकर्मी है, जिसके क्षेत्र में, जिसके इलाके में ये रेप की वारदात हुई, अगर उसको सस्पेंड नहीं किया गया अब तक, अगर उस पर एक्शन नहीं लिया गया, डॉक्टरों पर एक्शन नहीं लिया गया, तो ऐसी घटनाएं जो हैं वो आगे भी बिहार को देखने के लिए तैयार होना पड़ेगा।
अब तक क्या कार्रवाई की आश्वासन दे रही है वहां की प्रदेश सरकार? अधिकारियों का क्या कुछ कहना है इस मामले पर? रितेश, प्रदर्शन जो हैं जारी हैं, मगर क्या अधिकारियों से कुछ जवाब मिले हैं उनको?
देखिए, सबसे बड़ी बात है कि रेप की वारदात अपने में सबसे ये बड़ी घटना, जो एक्यूज है उसे पुलिस ने पकड़ लिया है और अपनी पीठ थपथपा रही है कि हमने एक्यूज को पकड़ लिया, लेकिन उसके बारे में जानकारी मुझे ये मिल रही है कि वो एक्यूज पहले भी इस तरह की घटनाओं को वो कर चुका है और पुलिस में शिकायत जाती थी, पुलिस इसे आम मामलों की तरह रफा दफा कर देती थी, लेकिन जब मर्डर हुआ, पुलिस घिरती नजर आई तो फौरन गिरफ्तार भी कर लिया और पीठ थपथपा रही है, किसी पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई है। पीएमसीएच में देखिए कि जब पीएमसीएच का एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इस पूरे मामले में घिरता हुआ नजर आया तो पीएमसीएच के जो सुपरिटेंडेंट है उन्होंने बाकायदा प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की और उन्होंने दिखाया कि नहीं, हमने तो लड़की को फौरन एडमिट कर लिया था। ये सारी चीजें जो है वो पॉलिटिकल माइलेज के लिए हो रही हैं। लेकिन थोड़ी दिन पहले बीजेपी का ही लीडर है मनीष कश्यप, कल तक वो बीजेपी, उसके साथ मारपीट की गई इसी पीएमसीएच में। तो फिर जब बीजेपी सत्ताधारी दल के नेताओं के साथ ये स्थिति है तो आम जनता हमेशा सवाल उठाती है पीएमसीएच के डॉक्टरों के कार्यकलाप पे, उनके बिहेव को लेकर। लेकिन कभी, शायद ही कभी इस पर बिहार के जो स्वास्थ्य मंत्री हैं मंगल पांडे, उनकी जबान इस पर खुली हो, सत्ताधारी दल के लीडर्स इस पर कभी उन्होंने बोला हो। अरे यहाँ पर तो होना चाहिए कि एक माइनर बच्ची की रेप, उसकी हत्या, उसे अस्पताल में इलाज नहीं मिलना, खुद सरकार को आगे आकर सारा एक्शन लेना चाहिए था और जो दो एक्यूज हैं उन पर कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए थी। लेकिन यहाँ सारी चीजें पॉलिटिकल चश्मे से देखी जा रही हैं, कवर अप करने की कोशिश हो रही है और यही कवर अप करना आने वाले समय में सरकार के लिए भारी पड़ सकता है।
रितेश मिश्रा, शुक्रिया हमारे संग जुड़ने के लिए। कुछ और इस वक्त बड़ी खबर आ रही है। At least 3 army personnel have been martyred and 9 have gone missing after a landslide hit an army camp at Chatan in North Sikkim late on Sunday night. 1,600 tourists stranded in Lachung since May 30th have been rescued amidst heavy landslides and waterlogging. Nibir Deka is joining us for more on this story. Nibir, the situation in Sikkim continues to remain very precarious. Take us to this latest incident coming to light.
Well, yes, indeed, a landslide that took place yesterday at around 7 p.m. at Chatan in North Sikkim has damaged the nearby habitat. And from my sources, we have got to know that 3 bodies have been recovered, which includes some combatants, and more are suspected to be missing. And the process for the identification of the deceased and the search operation is right now in progress by the armed forces. But the bigger concern here is that the issue of landslides, which has rattled North Sikkim. And why North Sikkim is important? Because the tourism and the tourist activities are more prevalent in North Sikkim, and as a result of that, we had a lot of tourists who were stranded in North Sikkim when the roads were blocked by the landslides that caused a lot of disruptions in the highway.
Yes, we are learning meanwhile that many tourists who were stranded have now been rescued. Reportedly, they were stranded close to Lachung.
Yes, the BRO has cleared the road for one-way vehicular activity, and the challenges are high there because although the road has been cleared, but the rainfall continues. And in rainfalls, you don't know when the landslides can occur again. But for now, fortunately, the road has been cleared, and the tourists, more than 1,000 in number, are now trying to make way to the main center of Sikkim.
Is the rainfall expected to continue for the next 24 to 48 hours? What are the latest weather reports suggesting, Nibir?
Yes, the rainfall, although many places are still in red alert, but fortunately in Assam, many of the places are now in yellow alert. And since morning today, where we are at in Guwahati right now, the rainfall has reduced, which has led to improved situation within the city and the floodplains. But the bigger concern is that the rainfall continues in the hilly areas, which means that the water from the hills are entering the river and floodplains, thereby increasing the danger level of many of the major rivers in the northeast.
All right, Nibir Deka, thank you for joining us with those details. The Cubbon Park Polymaid was made to wait in fact for hours in an ambulance, and a case has now been registered against a bar restaurant in Bengaluru, co-owned and promoted by senior Indian cricketer Virat Kohli, for allegedly smoking zone violations. As per police officials, following a permission from a local court, the police registered the FIR on the 31st of May under sections 4 and 21 of the Cigarettes and Other Tobacco Products Act against 18 commune near Kasturba Road, MG Road in central Bengaluru. So these are the latest updates we are tracking for you on the broadcast. In fact, we are learning that trouble is mounting now for this 18 commune restaurant. 18 commune restaurant is owned by cricketer Virat Kohli. Bengaluru police have filed a case against the restaurant under various sections of the Tobacco Act. Smoking zone violations is the allegation. Brian is joining us for more on this story. Brian, take us through the details of this case that has been lodged against this restaurant.
Well, clearly the Virat Kohli's 18 commune in Bangalore has been booked under Katwa violation. Now this very Cuban Park police have registered a suo motu case against 18 commune, which is also a pub owned by cricketer Virat Kohli, for allegedly violating anti-smoking regulations under the Cigarettes and Other Tobacco Products, that is the Katwa Act. Now this establishment has been also there booked under section 4 and 21 of the Katwa Act for failing to maintain a designated smoking area inside the restaurant premises. Now what we are getting to know from the officials, what they have said, that the pub they do not adhere to mandatory signage or structural requirements for smoking zones, and the complaint was also filed following an inspection and subsequent report. And till now, authorities have not yet commented on whether further action will be taken against the very management itself. Uday.
Allegations, Brian? Brian, can you hear me?
Yes, Uday. Yes.
Brian, has the restaurant commented on these allegations?
As of now, there has been no statement given by the restaurant itself, but yes, clearly the establishment has been booked under section 4 and 21 of the Katwa Act, and clearly also this has been stemmed from violating the very Katwa Act itself. But yes, clearly if we talk about the authorities itself, they have not commented on whether further action.
Brian Thomas, thank you for joining us with those details. On that note, we're slipping into some more developments coming in. Search operations are in fact ongoing in Saladi area of Jammu Kashmir's Katwa region. 3 suspects were seen by locals yesterday night. Indian Army was informed of the same. Search operations have also been launched in joint cooperation by the Indian Army and Jammu Kashmir Police. Ajay Jandial is joining us for more on this story. Ajay, what's the latest you can share with us from Katwa?
Yes, the operation still continues, because last late night when some civilians, they have spotted some 2 to 3 suspected terrorists in that area, they immediately informed the police, and security forces, they launched a massive searches in that area. Indian Army, Jammu Kashmir Police and the CRPF, they are on the job to ensure that if any terrorist is there, he has to be nabbed or neutralized as soon as possible, because Katwa district was in the news for last several months because of the this terror-related activities. We have seen that how 3 terrorists, they were killed there in the upper reaches of Katwa in Bilawar, and 2 terrorists was gunned down there in the Hiranagar sector area as well. So wherever these movements are taking place, security forces are ensuring that they have to go and ensure that if there are any terrorists, they have to be traced and neutralized as soon as possible.
Ajay, thank you for joining us with those updates. In the aftermath of incessant heavy rainfall, Assam is grappling with severe floods and landslides that have claimed 8 lives and affected over 78,000 people across 17 districts. Waterlogging has been reported from various areas of Guwahati, where many localities remain submerged. With rescue operations in full swing, authorities have been shifting stranded residents to safer locations, as many families were forced to abandon their waterlogged homes, which are without water and power supply. My colleague Nibideka has filed a ground report from Guwahati.
Due to heavy rains in the last 2 days, water level has risen in parts of Assam as well as in northeast. Currently, we are in Guwahati, where in the last 2 days, water levels has risen to a huge extent, which has led to a lot of problems for the people. 5 people have lost their lives yesterday in Guwahati, 3 for landslides, and over 8 people have died in the Assam. And more than 70,000 people are affected, with 17 districts facing the pressure of floods. So this is the example we are showing you from the ground, where you can see that how cars are blocked, how kids are having difficulty going to school, and although the schools are already closed by the government, but still there are a lot of problems being faced by the locals. We are showing you how the cars are stopped because they cannot enter, and they can only go via a rickshaw that they can hire. So that is the ground situation right now, where people are facing a lot of issues. Fortunately, since morning today, there has been no rains, but if it continues to rain further, the water level is going to rise, and people are already affected. In the last 2 days, they are not able to go to their schools and colleges, and people are not able to go to their work. The shops are closed because water have entered their houses, and we are showing you how people are facing the problem every year when the water level rises and people face the issue of floods. The situation is very problematic right now, and the residents, we have spoken to the residents, they have talked about how difficult it is their life amid the prevailing situation of as water have entered their house. You can see the kids there walking because their schools are closed, and you can see only the big cars are able to go there and the rickshaws are able to go there. This is not just one isolated incident. This is an incident which is happening across Guwahati, across the northeast, in Manipur, in Sikkim. The Tista river is flowing above the danger level. In Manipur as well, water has entered the Imphal valley. So that is the ground situation currently in northeast, as pre-monsoon showers have, flooded most of the regions, and landslides and rock slides have also occurred amid the prevailing situation. With video journalist Nishan, this is Nibir Dekar reporting for NewsX.
NewsX has accessed the visuals of the accused in the Bihar minor rape case. The girl was lured with a chocolate near her aunt's home and taken to a maize field in Muzaffarpur, where she was raped on the 26th of May. The rape victim was referred to the Patna Medical College Hospital, where she was made to wait in an ambulance for several hours due to lack of beds just a day before she passed away. Ritesh Mishra joins us for more on this story. Ritesh, we are putting out the visuals of the main accused in this Bihar rape shocker. Ritesh, can you hear me? Okay, I think we're having some technical trouble there with this connection, but these of course are the big developments we are tracking for you. These are the first pictures emerging of the accused in this particular case. This is a NewsX exclusive. We have accessed the picture of the main accused in the Bihar rape case. This is the picture of the accused, who of course now is in the police's custody. Remember, of course, this is an absolute shocker that has come to light from Bihar. Ritesh Mishra, I believe, is back with us on the broadcast. Ritesh, if you're able to hear me now, I was trying to ask you about these pictures. This is the first picture of the accused in this case, which we've accessed.
बिल्कुल, देखिए कि ये जो एक्यूज्ड है ये साइको बताया जा रहा है, और ऐसा नहीं है कि इसने पहली बार इस रेप को अंजाम दिया है। इसके पहले भी इस तरह की कई घटनाओं को लेकर उसकी शिकायत हुई है, जहां पर उसने रेप अटेम्प्ट किया, उसने किसी के साथ मॉलेस्टेशन किया। लेकिन जैसा होता है, हर मामले में शिकायत पुलिस तक पहुंची, लेकिन पुलिस ने जिस तरह से बाकी मामलों को सीरियसली नहीं लिया, उसी तरीके से इस गंभीर मामले को भी पुलिस ने कभी सीरियसली नहीं लिया, और उसका मनोबल बढ़ता गया। वो इस तरह से घटनाओं को करते गया, और अंत में देखिए कि एक माइनर लड़की के साथ ना सिर्फ उसने रेप किया, बल्कि उस पर जानलेवा हमला किया। पूरा यहाँ से उसके गले को उसने काट दिया, और अंततः देखिए कि इलाज के दौरान ही उस लड़की की PMCH में मौत हो जाती है। लेकिन लड़की के साथ एक दो बार रेप नहीं हुई, बल्कि उसके साथ बिल्कुल कहा जा सकता है कि सिस्टम ने भी उसके साथ बहुत बुरा बर्ताव किया है। पहले तो देखिए कि उसके साथ रेप हुई, वो SKMCH मुजफ्फरपुर में उसे सही इलाज नहीं मिला। उसके बाद जो डॉक्टर्स हैं उन्होंने हाथ खड़े कर दिए और सीधे पटना PMCH रेफर किया। PMCH आती है, उसके बाद यहाँ पर जब उसे बेड नहीं मिलता है, 4 घंटे तक जिस बच्ची के साथ रेप हुआ है, आप सोचिए कि किस मेंटल ट्रॉमा से वो गुजर रही होगी। उसके बाद वो घायल है, उसको यहाँ पर कई सारे गंभीर यहाँ पर कट मारे गए थे ब्लेड से, उसे ब्लीडिंग हो रही थी। 4 घंटे तक एम्बुलेंस में रखना, उसे 6-7 घंटे बाद बेड मिलता है। उसके बाद उसका इलाज भी कब शुरू होता है, जब कांग्रेस के जब यहाँ से स्टेट प्रेसिडेंट जाते हैं, अन्य जो लीडर्स जाते हैं, डॉक्टरों के साथ नोक झोंक होती है, प्रेशर बनाते हैं, तब जाकर उसे बेड मिलता है, तब जाकर वो हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट होती है। आप सोचिए कि इन आज 7 से 8 घंटों में कितनी ब्लीडिंग हुई होगी, कितना दर्द उसने सहा होगा, किस मेंटल ट्रॉमा, किस पीड़ा में होगी, इसकी कल्पना करना भी काफ़ी मुश्किल है। आप सोचिए कि उसके बाद इलाज शुरू होता है, जाहिर सी बात है कि जब लेट इलाज होगा तो रिकवर नहीं हो पाएगी। उस बच्ची ने दम तोड़ दिया और अब इस पर जमकर राजनीति हो रही है। आज कांग्रेस ने प्रोटेस्ट भी किया, प्रोटेस्ट को रोक दिया गया, लेकिन बिहार सरकार के लिए काफ़ी शेमफुल ये इंसिडेंट है, जहां पर एक बच्ची के साथ रेप होता है और इलाज के बगैर उसकी तड़प तड़प कर मौत हो जाती है। और एक्यूज को भले ही मुजफ्फरपुर पुलिस ने पकड़ लिया है, लेकिन अगर पुलिस पहले उस पर कार्रवाई उसने की होती तो आज एक जो छोटी बच्ची थी, 10-12 साल की वो बच्ची थी, वो हमारे बीच जिंदा रहती। आप सोचिए कि जो उसके घर वाले हैं वो इतने बदहवास हो चुके हैं, उसकी माँ जो है उसे 2 दिन से होश नहीं है, वो बेहोश पड़ी हुई है। घर वालों को कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। सत्ताधारी दल के जो सरकार के लोग हैं वो पहुंच रहे हैं और वो मुआवजा की बात कर रहे हैं, कंपनसेशन की बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन कंपनसेशन से वो माइनर बच्ची जो है वो वापस नहीं आएगी। अगर सरकार को कुछ करना ही होगा, जितना भद्द पिटना था उतनी भद्द पिट चुकी है सरकार की। अगर सरकार इस पर गंभीर एक्शन लेती, जो एक्यूज डॉक्टर्स हैं उन पर एक्शन लेती, जो रिलेटेड थाना है, जो पुलिस स्टेशन है वहाँ पर एसएचओ पर अगर कोई कार्रवाई करती, पुलिस वालों पर कार्रवाई करती, तब जाकर लोगों के मन में थोड़ा भरोसा होता कि चलो सरकार ने लापरवाही की लेकिन उसने एक्शन लिया। लेकिन यहाँ एक्शन भी नहीं लिया जा रहा है और यही कारण है कि सिस्टम जो है वो पूरी तरीके से बेपरवाह, लापरवाह बना हुआ है।
शुक्रिया रितेश हमारे संग जुड़ने के लिए। At least 8 people have sustained burn injuries in a targeted terror attack in Colorado's Boulder at Park Street Mall during a rally for Israeli hostages in Gaza. FBI Director Kash Patel described this as an act of terror and said federal agents have joined local law enforcement on the scene. But let's in fact take you to some of the details that we've been able to track. Mohammed Sabri Soleiman, described by authorities as the man behind the attack, is reportedly a foreign national who overstayed his visa after arriving in the US 2 years ago. Well, while the FBI has confirmed his Egyptian nationality, Soleiman is originally an immigrant from Kuwait under Joe Biden's open door policies 2 years ago. Sanjeev Srivastava, international affairs expert, is with us live. Sanjeev, shocking case coming to light from Colorado. What do you make of the details about the accused and the way this attack was carried out?
Well, Uday, this is an act of terror, certainly, and this shows that in the United States of America, on that territory too, there are elements which are active against Israeli and Israeli interest against Jews. And in recent times, we had seen that 2 Israeli embassy staffers were killed in such a kind of an attack. And obviously, these are terrorist attacks, but also there is anti-Semitic sentiments are very much there. And this kind of hate and violence, a lot of such elements carry out against the people of Israel. And this is a matter of very serious concern. Investigations are going on, but this man, as you have yourself said out there, that he's from Egyptian nationality, and he came to United States of America using a very liberal, immigration policy under the Biden administration. And but now this man has been arrested now, and investigations are going on. But there is no doubt that the kind of attack he carried out using a makeshift flamethrower device and injuring at least 6 people. And this attack was done on a demonstrators, those who were demonstrating for the release of Israeli captives which are there in the Hamas captivity. So I think this shows that in the United States of America, there are a number of such extremist and terrorist elements which could pose a serious threat to the people of Israel.
Absolutely. Sanjeev, thank you for joining us with your perspective on this story. On that note, slipping into a short break.
अगर आप बनना चाहते